Okay, hello and welcome everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about how we can write SQL inside 5 and then how we can use our SQL queries inside our applications as data views. So currently what I have is an application. So let me just quickly click on manage and jump onto the development environment, and I'll quickly show you what we have in our database. So as you can see, we currently have a very simple database. We only have two tables, products and orders, and as you can see also they are related. We also have two forms in our application, product and orders. Let me quickly run the app and show you what we have in our end user application. Okay, so here is the form for our product table. So as you can see, we have four products: Eco Smart water bottle, where we have the names, SKU and price. Now Fresh Foods blender, a night vision security camera, and ultra soft pillow. Similarly, we also have orders for them. There someone ordered 3 bottles for Eco Smart bottle. Here someone ordered fresh food blenders and etc. Okay, so let me quickly exit this application. And now what we're going to talk about is that how we can, since we have some data in a database and we have some products and orders, now how we can write SQL queries for this data. So in order to write queries inside 5, you simply click on data and then we have this option called as queries. Now we can start by clicking on add item. Now inside item, first we can give it an ID. So let me just call it my, let's just call it our test query for now. After you're done naming it, click here which says click to add. And now 5 opens up this editor where you have two options, designer or SQL. For example, in the SQL editor, 5 opens up this editor in front of you, which is familiar to any SQL workbench. And now you have the freedom to write in any complicated queries here as you want. For example, if you want to do something like select star from our product table. Once I've done writing a query, I can click on run right over here and get my results right in front of me. So as you can see, we have its key, name, SKU, and price right here. And let's say that we do not wish to write SQL and we actually still want to build our queries, then we can click on designer, and from here we can start building our queries visually. So for example, if you click here, it says add table, I can select products. And let's say if I want to quickly build a query which displays the name, SKU, and price, double click on name, double click on SKU. Sorry, as you can see, it's displayed over here now since I've selected it, and double click on price. Once I'm done with that, I can click on run, and bam, I get all of the details. I can also create complicated queries by, let's say, putting in the orders table as well. And as you can see, 5 will show the relation. Now let me also, let's ask 5 to also show the quantity for each one. Now, if I run it, it also shows me the quantity. Now, one thing that I usually like to highlight over here is that whatever changes that you do inside designer can be converted right back into SQL. As you can see, 5 was smart enough to even write the inner join statement for us because we are using two tables right now. And anything that you do inside the editor can be converted right back into the designer. So you're not limited to one approach. You have the flexibility to change from whichever approach that you want. Let's say one day you want to write the designer, another day you want to wish to switch back to SQL, you have freedom to do so. Okay, so now since we already have a query, let me just quickly click on save. And let's save the entire query over here. And now that's it. Actually, we're done building a query. Now that was just a very quick coverage of how you can write SQL, but of course in that workbench, in the editor, you have the freedom to write any sort of complicated queries that you want. We do have a limitation, that is stored procedures. That is because we support writing JavaScript, and any complicated function should be done through code and not through stored procedures. Okay, so since we talked about queries, let us now actually talk about how we can use that query in our end user application. And we can do that through data views. So I click on visual and data views. Let's click on add item. Okay, so now here let's start by giving it a title. So I'll just call it my product view, let's say, because we are showing the details of the product. And in the data source, I can select in my orders, my tables, which is product and orders, and my queries. So basically your data, so you can build a data view for any sort of data that you have in your application. You can do it for any third-party API, external databases, or even your internal databases or your tables, as you see. So, And of course, as a current example, you can also use queries. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on data fields. So now the data view imports every single field that were being displayed in our query, and now you can see them over here. If I click on any one of them, I can adjust its sizes and everything else. So as you can see, they have a default width of 100. So let me change that to something around 25 because that looks better on the screen. And we can do that for every single one of them. Now this is just a quick example of what you can do with data views. That currently I'm just changing the width, but of course, as you can see, you have much more things that you can change around over here. Let me click on save again. And I am done with my data view as well. My last step would be to attach my data view into my application, and that can be done by clicking on visual, going into a menu. So as you can already see, we already have two menu items, which is orders and products, and these are for their respective forms, which we saw when we first opened our application. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new item. Let's call it our product view again, because this is the caption of our menu item. Let's go to menu order of 3 so it appears third on the list, just below orders. And in the action, we can select our data view. Now we are done. We can click on save. Let me click on run again. Okay, as you can see, we have both of our menu items, products and orders table. Now we have a third new menu item called as product view. And as you can see, we have a results of our query right here in front of us, which is product name, SKU, product price, and quantity. Of course, I can also readjust them if I want them to, and I can also filter them and sort them around from these buttons. If you go back to 5, you can see that by going back to data views, we have the ability to mess around with their individual display types or the data types and a lot of other things. If I go back to queries, you can see that their aliases, which is product name, product dot quantity, comes from the aliases that we gave them. So if you change anything around over here, their name should also change when you import them inside the data view. Okay, so that's it for queries. If you like today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to talk about how we can build charts from this query that we just built. So make sure to stay tuned for the next video. Until then, see you all very soon, and thank you.